What do you think the NBA investigation of the Dallas Mavericks is going to quote unquote turn up, Chris? I mean,
not much because, look, I think the Mavericks could have been a little more subtle with it, and maybe because of that, the NBA will fine them. But this just can't rise to the level of docking Dallas a draft pick because too many teams do it. They just don't do it in as overt a way. Look, the NBA didn't punish Oklahoma City a few years ago when they just decided not to play Al Horford in the second half of the season. Oklahoma City has not played Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for stretches. They, claimed one year they were resting Lou Dort because he had to get ready for the Canadian national team. There's just some goofiness that goes on in the NBA in the second half of seasons. I think the Mavericks, they just took a bullhorn and announced what they were going to do, basically, and that's not something the league office, takes kindly to. But outside of a fine, I just don't see anything substantive happening to Dallas.
So then how does a team go from last year's Western Conference Finals to as a 6 seed with a nice head of steam, thanks to a Kyrie Irving acquisition, wind up pulling the plug on the season the Friday before the playoffs? How the hell did that happen, Chris?
Well, it all goes back to the Jalen Brunson decision. And, Mark Cuban has tried to rewrite history a little bit over the last, couple of days. But the reality is the Mavericks had multiple opportunities to lock Jalen Brunson up before he became a free agent, and they didn't do it. And because of that, he was able to walk to the Knicks. It left Dallas with a huge void at the point guard position and a huge void when it comes to a player that has proven he can play next to and succeed with Luka Doncic. That killed them going into the year. The Kyrie deal, I don't blame Kyrie Irving for what happened down the stretch in Dallas. I talk to people down there all the time, and the message I'm often given is that, look, Kyrie's been a good guy. He's been a good soldier. He's trying to fit in. Maybe he's trying to fit in too much, and we saw that early in his tenure in Dallas. The problem with this team is that it was just put together in the wrong way. They don't have great defenders. They don't have rim protectors. All the things you need to be a successful playoff team, they don't have. To get Kyrie Irving, they had to trade Dorian Finney-Smith. There was this big to-do about Maxi Kleber coming back after the All-Star break. Maxi Kleber is fine, but he's not Dikembe Mutombo. And when you have two, legitimately below-average defenders at the guard spots, you need a Dikembe Mutombo to clean up a lot of their mistakes. So this is a team that, they're going to try to bring back Kyrie Irving, and if I was going to make a bet on it, I'd say they probably will. But it's not going to lead to a dramatic turnaround just having a full season with them. They need to find defensive-minded players. And as you know, guys like that are not a dime a dozen. You have to really work hard to get players like that, and the Mavericks going to have to do that.
So Luka, when he said he's not happy, basically, he pointed out, I'm not smiling on the court as much as I used to, and then made a cryptic reference to something outside of basketball. Any idea what that is and if it's fixable, Chris?
Yeah, I think Luka's problem, from what I understand, is personal related. I don't know exactly what it is, but it was something that has bothered him in the last couple of months, second half of the season. Basketball-wise, look, he just wants help. And that's going to be the biggest challenge for Dallas because they have not historically been a free agent destination. They gave up most of their best assets to get Kyrie Irving. They have not had much success at all in recent years in the draft. And look, they're probably going to hold on to their draft pick this time around because they, went into that tank at the back half of the season. This is an important one. Like, it's going to be a lottery pick. They've got to hit on it. Somewhere between 10 and 14, they have got to hit on that pick because that might be their best chance to bring in something substantive to help Luka, to help Kyrie, to help this team build over the next couple of years.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.